I thought I would go through this IGN article about the Nintendo Switch, the unanswered questions, and just detail some of the questions, the unanswered questions that a lot of people are having, and then give my take on it. As I've endured many console releases, I think I can kind of give a good estimation and guess at what Nintendo are going to do. So these are my answers for the unanswered questions, but you can feel free to browse and look around at different videos and figure things out for yourself. So essentially, one of the biggest questions is, what's the launch date? Well, obviously, Nintendo did target March 2017, which would be the debut of the NX. That's the Nintendo Switch. They might change it. The date might be moved up, as they're stating here, March 4th, but then it also might be pushed back a little bit as well. If Nintendo's Zelda Breath of the Wild is going to be coming out at a certain date, you can almost assuredly know that the Switch is going to follow in tow very closely or be out ahead of time. So you can just kind of base a few days for that. So as they're stating here, when the Breath of the Wild amiibos are going to release, because again, Nintendo wants to coincide that with the release of Breath of the Wild and with the release of the Switch to get the max momentum. You're going to want the Breath of the Wild, you're going to want the Switch, and you're going to want the amiibos to go with it, so they're going to release all of those things at the same time. So you can kind of circle March 4th as they're saying here, but it might be a little later or a little bit earlier. Sometime in March 2017 is what they're saying, essentially. So, how much is the Switch going to cost? $599 US. Fucking Sony. No, I don't think it's going to cost $599 US. But essentially, what the Nintendo Switch does is it comes with a tablet, 2 Joy-Cons, and the dock. I can almost guarantee you that is what is going to come in, and I'm going to answer that question later on. But for that price, and for consoles that we've seen in the past, as they're saying here, the Wii U launch bundle was $299 for the basic set and $349.99 for the deluxe set. Now, I'm going to go ahead and kind of guess that Nintendo is going to do a similar thing, unless they learn their lesson when they phased out the basic set of the Wii U and just kept the deluxe set. So I think it's going to probably be priced between $299 to $349.99. And I think that it will also come bundled with a different game as well, but you'll have to pay a little bit extra for the bundle. Maybe they'll have a bunch of different bundles, but I can't see Nintendo doing more than 2. So they might have a basic set of, 32 gigabyte storage, and then a deluxe of 120 whatever gigabyte for $50 extra, or a game with it, or a controller with it, something like that. And different manufacturers, different companies like Best Buy are going to be putting together bundles where they're going to be like, oh, okay, you buy the Switch and then you get the Pro controller and Zelda Breath of the Wild all for $400, saving yourself like $20 or $30 if you buy that bundle. But that's going to be their specific bundle, and they're going to have that stuff sold separately but just bundled together. So it's not going to all be in a console box. So what will come in the box? As I stated already, I think what you saw in the trailer, minus the games and minus the Pro controller, is what's going to come in the box. What you see right here, this, and this. So you're going to have kind of a charging dock. You're going to have an AC plug to power this and this. That would be 2 of those. You're going to have the tablet itself. You're going to have the 2 Joy-Cons and the holder. And then you're also going to have the connection to the television, which would probably be an HDMI cord that's going to come with it, because I don't think Nintendo would cheap out and not give you one of those. They might, but I think that's all that's going to come in the basic set. As for size, hard drive size, or maybe, SSD or, card size, I don't know. So what about the Switch Pro controller? Well, As you can see here, this is a clear controller if you look very closely. A lot of people thought it looked dirty and used, but it's actually just clear. And you can see right here that it supports 4 players. So this is the first one. And then it looks almost the same as a Pro controller. So they just kind of recycled the design. This probably will not be in the box at launch, but it will be sold separately, and it will probably be $40 to $50 to $60. Again, sold separately. So does the Switch have a touchscreen? Probably. I can't see it not having a touchscreen. Why wouldn't it have a touchscreen? That would mean it could support Android games where developers are willing to port over their Android version of the game to the NX, which probably wouldn't be that difficult if it's running a kind of Android OS. So yeah. That's most of the questions. There are a few more, like backwards compatibility is not going to happen. Some people asked, hey, maybe they're going to make a USB disk drive for backwards compatibility. I can't see that happening at all, mainly because there's literally no USB connections on the device itself. And if you look here, there's literally no USBs here. I think Nintendo is going to have proprietary connections for almost everything on this thing, and I can't really see it being something like USB Type-C or USB 3.0 or whatever. I just don't see that happening. So I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I just don't see it happening. I think those days are long gone. The last time Nintendo put out something to play something backwards compatible with an accessory that you had to buy was on the GameCube with the Game Boy Advance player, and you had to get it, the Game Boy Advance player itself, screw it to your GameCube on the bottom, and then use the disc to run your Game Boy Advance games on GameCube. And that was the last thing that was kind of an add-on accessory that would run backwards compatible stuff. Not saying that there hasn't been backwards compatible consoles. Again, the Wii ran GameCube, the Wii U runs Wii games. You know, you get the picture. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. You guys have yourselves a great day, and as always, I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. Good gaming, and God bless.